742-5555. Now here's your tour guide, Lori Strunk.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I really appreciate it. It's a beautiful day, and hopefully you're out and about and doing something fun. I just want to say thank you to Chris Singleton, my producer, and my everything guy back there behind the glass. So he just gave me a rock-on sign back there because he's still busy getting everything rolling. I just want to invite you all to listen to my show every Saturday from 4 till 5 p.m. Pacific time. And the number you can reach me for all of your real estate needs is 916-960-9600. And if you do list a property with me, you will be able to have it featured on my show. And I think that's a great advantage, and it'll be put on all my websites. Today we have an extra special guest, and we're going to be talking about appraisals, and we're going to just see, he's got his own business here and his own company, and it's nationwide, and I think it's going to be really interesting for everybody out there. But for now, we're going to go to a commercial, and when we get back, we'll be with Scott Packer.
Call each trip in your car risky business, then we invite you to come in and see the great value in pre-owned vehicles on our lot with prices as low as $39.95. This is Murray Lewis, co-owner of Dow Lewis Motors. We have two important advantages. You don't pay auto mall fees when you purchase a certified pre-owned car from Dow Lewis Motors, and each certified pre-owned car comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty. Right now we have great quality, low-priced pre-owned cars on our lot. Come see the 2004 Nissan Frontier for just $11,995, the 2010 Chevrolet Cobalt for $99.70. And check out these lease prices on the 2015 GMC Terrain at just $299 a month and the 2015 Buick Regal at just $369 a month. Dow Lewis Motors is your used car superstore. America's journey started with George Washington. Your certified pre-owned car buying journey should start at George Washington Boulevard and Highway 20. That's where you'll find Dow Lewis Motors. All prices subject to prior sale.
Have you been looking for authentic Mexican food? Well, you need to try Las Brasas Restaurant, 1529 Colusa Avenue in Yuba City. They're open 7 days a week, Monday through Friday, 10 to 8 p.m., and Saturday and Sunday, 9 to 8 p.m. Las Brasas Restaurant has a banquet room available for special meetings or occasions at no charge with purchase of meals for 8 guests or more. Children under 9 eat free from the children's menu with the purchase of an adult meal on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and seniors 65 years and older, you get 15% off every day of the week. That's Las Brasas Restaurant, authentic Mexican food at 1529 Colusa Avenue in Yuba City. Give them a call at 530-755-9889 or just stop in there. Have yourself something great to eat. Or try my favorite, the grilled chicken salad. Grilled chicken strips on green leaf lettuce, red onions, tomatoes with cheese. Las Brasas Restaurant, authentic Mexican food.
Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in to the Safari Real Estate Show. My name is Lori Strunk, and I am happy to have Scott Packer on with us. He's the co-founder and I believe the president of AppraisalSave.com. If I could tell you that you could get an appraisal, a home appraisal for $175, I think you would wonder why. And I'm going to have Scott on explaining why right now. Scott, are you there with us? Hi, Scott, and you are calling all the way from Michigan, so thank you so much for being on the show. I really appreciate it. Oh, thank you so much, and I'm grateful to have you as well. And so basically, I'm, with the real estate, the reason I had an interest in having you on the show is because you are nationwide. Obviously, you're quite a few states away from California, and yet your services are all across the United States, if I don't have that wrong. Did I say it too fast? You actually provide appraisal service all across the whole United States. That's awesome. And before we get talking about appraisals to get into it a little bit too much, I want you to like take a moment to tell everybody about yourself, just maybe on a personal level, who you are and how you maybe got yourself into the appraisal business. Okay. Oh, I always want a coffee shop. Chris knows this. That's awesome. And so did you grow up in Michigan? Did you grow up in Michigan? Awesome. Cool. That's awesome. Well, I'm actually a Midwesterner myself. I was born and raised in Wisconsin, so we were kind of neighbors. I know. You know what? I do have a little bit of an accent, but you know what? Surprisingly enough, oh, that's so cool. So, basically, you becoming an appraiser now, you were appraiser for a few years before you opened up your own company, or how did that work? And what year was that? What year did your company start? Okay. Ah, hence the name. Okay. That is great. Well, go ahead and give them a shout out if you'd like to. You can go ahead and give them a shout out if you'd like to. I mean, well, that is awesome. Thank you for like sharing that with everybody. And I am so glad to hear that your company is kind of like a little, it's like a toddler. It's not quite a baby company because you've been doing it forever, but it's like a toddler as far as like the age of the company itself. But it sounds like you've got a great foundation for doing the appraisals and everything else. And I was just wondering, okay, so how is it that you can do a $175 appraisal and in like make it on that? Like literally most appraisals are like double. I don't know if the consumers out there, anybody who's recently purchased a home and things like that, they're aware of the costs. Is there any difference between your appraisals and the appraisals that are done by people who charges the full price? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, cool. Well, and so, mm-hmm. So you don't typically work with like a realtor on a normal transaction, or do you sometimes? Like on a purchase. Okay. Mm-hmm. Right. Because you are dealing with so much more.
A lot of different stuff when you're doing bank jobs.
So what did you think, just like between us and all the listeners out there, what did you think when they decided that, like people, like lenders couldn't choose who they wanted to work with as an appraiser anymore?
What do I think about?
Yeah, I'm just curious from your side.
I
I mean, if
I
it doesn't
like it.
compromise
I no,
anything.
I really do. I don't like the fact that appraisal management companies are stepping in and increasing costs, overhead costs to the end user to manage the system.
Mm-hmm.
But it's okay. It was always a double-edged sword when you had a mortgage a loan officer. There was pressure put on you. You know, if you didn't have a value. I mean, I fired so many loan officers. You know, if they didn't respect my livelihood and my ethics and morals, then I didn't want to work with them. And I would get calls every single day. Hey, can you get this value? Can I get now? No, now you don't have any of that.
Oh, that's
You do a
true.
good solid job. You send it in, even with the banks,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, and that's the value. They don't question it.
Okay, well then from that stance, I can understand it a little more, and I can see from your side that it would be a lot less stressful not having to deal with that. I mean, I'm probably guilty of that a little bit too as a realtor. Like, are
Oh,
you sure?
sure.
But it's your nature to try to make the deal come together, and you're like, but this one went for that much, and this, but like, yeah, I can just see where you guys get tormented.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Not with appraisal safe.
Yeah.
You asked. I never really finished the why is it so much less.
Oh, yeah.
Everything that I questioned or didn't like about the business, I tried to fix. I never thought it made sense to have a bank call you, send in an order, then you call the homeowner, spend a week trying to get in touch with them.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't the homeowner call you when they want to set up an appointment?
So
Doesn't
true.
it make sense?
Yeah.
But it's been the same. It's been the same way forever and ever and ever. So Now with this, the homeowner goes and they pick the day and the time that they want an inspection. Up comes a list of appraisers that are available.
Mm-hmm.
It shows how far each appraiser is away from that property to be appraised. Each appraiser's years of experience, license type, and their average turn time. So
Wow.
it's at the fingertips of the realtor or attorney or accountant that wants to use the service to select which one would best suit their needs.
And
So
I did.
yeah.
Oh,
Go
sorry.
ahead.
I did notice that you do work with a lot of attorneys. And for the listeners, you might want to explain that because there are a lot of situations where a person does run across the need, besides just in a purchase of a new home, that you do need to have an appraisal done. And this is why keeping your company in mind is a great idea because, I mean, they could pay double than, by just calling up just any old appraiser in the area.
Absolutely. Yeah, attorneys use us for divorce, bankruptcy, estate planning. Accountants use us for estate type stuff. PMI removal. What else? There's so many reasons to get an appraisal, and it's understandable that people don't want to spend or can't spend $400 to get an idea what their home is worth.
Right.
But 175, it really just makes sense. We set expectations. That's what I'm always telling realtors. Is like, look, we know that you're professionals. We know that you have a very, very good idea of what this home should sell for.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of times it's getting the homeowner on the same page. Maybe their ideal, their thoughts are inflated, or maybe the realtor's thoughts are low. We just kind of were an unbiased opinion of value on a huge investment, like $175. My record is $28,000. I made a family.
Wow.
The realtor thought the home was worth $300,000. I appraised it for $347. It was under contract in 11 days at it was $328 or something like that. It was $28,000 is what is basically what I netted them because
That's
the
awesome.
realtor just didn't see it appraising for that,
And
or
you know
didn't see the value there.
And
so,
that's a great
and
tool.
it comes in the other way too. Sometimes it's lower than the people think, but it's only $175.
Yeah, and I think that's a great tool. Like you were just saying, actually, for any realtors listening or anybody who's thinking about selling or or buying a home that they feel like, hey, I'd like to well, you couldn't really do that. But for selling their home, I think it is a great idea that basically you get this done because a lot of times people don't want to hear it. And then all of a sudden you become this person who's trying to, take from them. And you're not. You're just trying to show what's realistic. And then the second it doesn't sell for their unrealistic price or your unrealistic price, then all of a sudden it looks like, hey, you're not doing your job, whereas really everybody is doing their job,
Ding, 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 you win, Lori.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. And every realtor that lists a family member or a friend's home should automatically get this done.
I think that's
just
a great
to be
idea.
safe. I mean, how many friends and relatives have you gotten in arguments with over the sale of a home? There are lots of them. So.
I agree with you completely, and now that just seems like so much more valuable in my eyes right now. Like it did anyway, but $175 to just make sure that you're not the one coming up with the price, especially if you've already had a conversation with them and you realize where their thoughts are going as far as the value or yours. Like if you think somebody's just, maybe it's even a probate situation where nobody's actually lived in the area or lived in that home, and they're literally relying on you for a solid answer, and everybody's coming from different parts of the United States. Somebody might be living down in Beverly Hills, and the next person might be living, I'm not going to name a cheaper spot because it's not fair, but you know what I mean? So everybody might have a different idea of what like a 2,500 square foot home should be going for. And a lot of times, just like depending on where you're living in California, everybody expects that everything is going to be worth $1 million here, and it's literally not. I mean, we have a lot of little towns where you can get lower priced properties, but if you inherited a situation of having to sell, well then if you're in another state, it gives you a solid foundation of where to start pricing that home, and knowing that you can trust the realtor and that there's more than one person coming in on as far as price goes and everything else. I think it's a great idea. And we're actually going to be going to our bottom of the hour break. I can't believe a half an hour is already over, but as soon as we get back from the break, we're going to continue our conversation with Scott Packer.
And now Grocery Outlet presents Lowest Prices and the Low Price Lowdown.
Hi, it's me, Lois Prices, the official Grocery Outlet Low Price and Happiness Ambassador. Today, a lesson in grocery store economics, or grocerynomics. Most grocery stores enact a strategy known as high-low pricing. They price most items high for profit, but then lower a few items for a brief sale to entice you into the store. But before you know it, kablamo! Their prices are high again. This is what is also known as hootenanny shenanigans. But at Grocery Outlet, we enact a strategy of lower pricing. See, everything at Grocery Outlet is always priced low, up to half off what you'll find at those regular grocery stores. But occasionally, we price things lower. Therefore, you always save. Class dismissed.
Grocery Outlet Bargain Market.
Grocery Outlet Bargain Market. Each family run and independently operated. Go to groceryoutlet.com or call 888-BARGAIN for the store nearest to you.
For 4 decades, United Truck Dismantlers has been serving the Twin Cities and surrounding communities with quality recycled truck parts. Last year, United Truck Dismantlers added many foreign and American-made cars to their inventory. You'll now find parts for Ford, Dodge, Jeep, Buick, Cadillac, Pontiac, Chevy, Toyota, Nissan, Honda, and many other makes and models. So if you're looking for quality recycled parts for your car, pickup, van, SUV, or medium-duty truck, go to the experts at United Truck Dismantlers in Marysville. Find your part at UnitedTruckDism.com or call 742-8258. United Truck is buying pre-owned cars and trucks, all makes, all models, running or not. Get the cash value for your vehicle now. Call United Truck Dismantlers at 742-8258. Fix your vehicle the right way and save money with recycled and reconditioned parts from United Truck Dismantlers off Highway 65 at McGowan Parkway in Marysville.
People. People are the next place to find opportunity for your business. At the risk of overstating things, people and the solutions you put in place to make the most of them will set the course for the future of your organization. How dynamically it shoots to the stratosphere of your industry. How the magic of profits and bottom lines come together in a fruitful bounty. I get so fired up. But people really do present a big opportunity, especially in information technology. And Ronstadt Technologies can help you make the most of this opportunity. Ronstadt is the second largest IT services organization in the country. Since 1984, our experts have combined deep technology experience with deep understanding of your needs to find the optimal match to drive results. And our knowledge can help you truly leverage your workforce into a competitive edge that dramatically accelerates your company to whole new levels of greatness heretofore unimagined. There I go again. Ronstadt Technologies. See how our experts can power your business. Visit ronstadttechnologies.com today.
Hi, everybody. You're listening to the Safari Real Estate Show. I'm Lori Strunk. And if you want to get a hold of me for any of your real estate needs, my number is 916-960-9600. And in case you missed the first half of the show, we are talking with Scott Packer. He's the co-founder and president of AppraisalSave.com. So, Scott, are you still there with us?
I'm still with you.
Awesome. And of course, I should add, he's staying up late on a Saturday night for me because he's all the way across the United States. But no worries, everybody. He does do appraisals all across the United States. So it is valuable information for anybody tuning in tonight or on any of the podcasts. So
I wasn't gonna go to bed at 7:30, so you're fine.
Yeah, but you could be out. You could be out to dinner. You could be doing so many other things, but instead you're here with us, and we really appreciate it.
Well, thank you again.
You're welcome. So, $175 appraisals, and that's for a home. And so we were just kind of going over a lot of the reasons that basically people might need an appraisal. One, I think that personally I can totally validate is like for getting listing prices and deciding, where to price the home. And I think it helps with the negotiating between the realtor and the seller right from the start. I mean, I think that's so valuable. I think it's a great tool. I think it will help get things accurate. Or how about this, as a realtor, anybody who does not really know where to get the comps. I have a couple properties actually, but I mean, they're not a home property, but like this, where it is very difficult to come up with comps depending on how remote or how different or unique a property could be. And this could be another great tool for something like that.
Yep. We do them. We do them every day. That's usually how it starts out with a realtor. They'll have a tricky property, and then we do a great job, and then they start using us for other easier properties. But that usually is how it ends up starting. The relationship starting.
And I think that's great. And so now, did you have any major obstacles in starting that company up for yourselves? I mean, I know you said you're a co-founder and you are the president, right?
Correct.
Okay. So as far as starting the company up, were there like some obstacles or some reasons why you were like, you know what, I'm kind of sick of working for others, and this is the improvement, and this is, I mean, other than the price, of course, one of the reasons why, or any of the reasons why maybe you wanted to have your own company. I mean, how does your company, besides price, stand out from anybody else?
They're really, as far as obstacles, starting your own business is always one huge obstacle.
Yeah.
But changing an industry has some very challenging as well. The appraisal industry has not had any major changes in years and years and years. It's a good old boys club that they do it their way, and they're the professionals, and that's the way it's going to be. So to come in and I don't want to compare it to Walmart, but people didn't like Walmart coming in either. But they're pretty popular these days.
Yeah.
So just to lower the price, I'm not bastardizing the fee structure of the appraisal business. I'm trying to expand the market, and that's what I tell the appraisers when they call in and say, "Oh, geez, $175, $150 is what they're actually getting." It's a sticker shock at first, but then once I tell them that they don't have to set appointments, they don't have callbacks, they get paid at the door, and all the other benefits, and they start doing them, it's like, wow, I like these. It's great filler work. So as far as obstacles, like Mr. Wonderful says on Shark Tank, we started with small, shallow pockets, and we got a little bit of money from the investment from Start Garden, but the expensive and difficult part is marketing. So as far as obstacles, that's the biggest obstacle, is getting it out there and getting the message out there that, look, this is exactly what it appears to be. These are veteran, experienced appraisers. Of our 400 appraisers, we average over 12 years experience each one. I think we only have 5 appraisers that have less than 5 years experience out of 400.
Wow, that's incredible.
So they're all licensed types, licensed, certified. We've got commercial appraisers. It's just easy, no-brainer. If they want the job, when an order comes in, they'll get a text and an email, but it tells them exactly how far it is from their office, the date and time, and how much it pays. So, decline it, and it goes to the next closest appraiser.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple.
Wow. I mean, I think that it's great how you have this set up, and I think it's a valuable tool. And I think a lot of people don't realize all the different avenues where in a simple appraisal could, it could just like dissolve any anxiety between families, whether it's a probate, like you said, a divorce. If you're even contemplating on maybe moving or not moving, I mean, it's a great place to start. Like, what will you really get? I mean, can you sell your home? How much profit will you could you look at possibly making? I mean, obviously nothing's ever like set in stone, but it gives everybody
Sure.
a very great place to start as far as value
Absolutely.
goes, and what any expectations they may or may not already have on the property could dissolve any issues between, you know, one person or the other people they're dealing with. I think it's awesome. And it's
And
nice that it's not
it
expensive.
happens all the it happens quite often that when a homeowner, they're not always referrals from realtors. We
Right.
get homeowners that just find us out of the blue or referred by friends or family or whatever, and they'll get an appraisal, just kind of checking the waters. Gosh, can I afford to sell? Should I sell?
Right.
And it's stressful listing a home. It's not easy. If you have kids, keeping it clean, having to leave at a moment's notice,
I
it's
agree.
it's stressful. So if the numbers aren't there, and the chances are you're not going to get what you need to, think about something else. Take your kids out for an ice cream. Let's be done with that.
I know, and a lot of times, I mean, and I'm in the business, so I'm sure I've been guilty of it too. So I'm not pointing fingers at any other realtor
Never.
or selling myself or selling anybody else or downselling. It's just that I think we're all guilty at some point or another of really wanting to make a deal work where maybe you're like, well, maybe I could get that number, or you agree to something because you're like, well, after they say it won't sell for that, maybe they'll lower it. I think this starts everything out on a fair, even ground where everybody's on the same page. And I think that the whole transaction will go better. The relationship that you can create with
Absolutely.
your seller, because I mean, bottom line, we want to have referrals. We want to have the people come back. We want to, build good quality relationships where people are not feeling like, man, that person told me that just so I would list with them or whatever, and then I ended up getting, 40,000 less. And, you want to keep the respect level up and realize that the homeowner is literally that. The homeowner. And so, it's best to get them quality information, keep it accurate, keep you, it also like defers any judgment towards the relationship that you and what you're trying to accomplish together as a team. It's also bringing in, like you said, a neutral third party that can totally, bring together the relationship. They can go back to you. Plus, I mean, I don't know how your appraisal works, but then if we do get into a lending situation, I mean, they do have that on hand to say, hey, it's been recently appraised at whatever. I think it's a great selling tool.
I recommend that all the time. They're not going to use it, but I always like to see what another appraiser has done, just for the fact that you can look at it and say, oh, yeah, I can see how he did this, or I see why she did that, or okay, that makes sense. It just
Yeah.
adds credibility to a value that maybe it'll get a little bit more. You'll appraise it just a little bit higher or whatever, you know what I mean, whatever that value may be.
I agree with you
But
because
yeah,
I mean we're all just people and we all can access certain information. So when it comes down to coming up with that certain price, obviously the goal is the purchase price. And sometimes, depending on what it is, it might be, oh, bonus, I get to go above the value. But typically we're looking at meeting a purchase price. I think it gives even the appraiser that's going to be working with your future buyers, sellers, a little bit more maybe should I say esteem as far as getting to that value that you're asking for, because
Sure.
they're looking at it like, okay, well, they reached it. I do have a legitimate reason for grabbing that comp that's 2 miles out of the radius rather than 1 because of uniqueness or whatever. If they see that another person had to literally go through the same things that they're going through, I think it gives them a little bit more backbone when it comes to being able to
Absolutely.
hold up that price.
Lori, have you ever had a deal fall through because the appraisal came in low?
I've been in the business 16 years. You can count. You can
Yeah,
count on that. Of
I
course,
figured.
I have. And it's
This
very
is another reason to get an
devastating.
appraisal. You can sell it for $1 million, but if it's only going to appraise for 500, it's not going to go through. Again, with the stress and the headaches and
No.
the anger and everything else. So
And a lot of
um,
times you end up losing. You could possibly lose your listing. So
yeah, absolutely.
realtors that are listening, and you get to that situation, oh, cool, we got this happy buyer. They're the only thing. Most of the buyers, if they find the home of their dreams, they're not hoping for a low appraisal because there's not always a guarantee that that seller is willing to go down. bottom line is that seller owns that property. They're entitled to A, get what they want, or B, back out because they don't. And the thing is, so pricing it is essential. And so when all of a sudden you get into an escrow and that lender pulls out their appraisal and they're like, hey, it didn't meet the value, we're not going to be able to finance this, it doesn't mean your seller is forced. It could mean that the seller decides not to sell. And a lot of people want to use that as a leverage when really it's a disadvantage. It's a hardship. Everybody put in a lot of effort to, first of all, get those people qualified. The appraiser went out there. The realtors who got that listing to begin with, the marketing behind it, it's a waste of time and energy for more than one person.
Yeah, agreed.
You're like,
Yes.
I can talk. I'm sorry.
You're good at it, Lori.
You're like, can I take you with me? No, but it's like, I mean, I just feel like it's such a great thing. That's why I really wanted to talk about appraisals because, I mean, people, I think, overlook a lot of that. That is key when it comes to your financing. Okay, it'd be wonderful if we could all go, yay, I'm going to get a cash buyer on every single listing I have. I can price it as high as I'd like. Okay. Or seller. Oh man, I want to get $1 million because I really put in a lot of good carpet and flooring and my houses were definitely $40,000 more than all my neighbors' exact cloned houses. No, it's not.
Don't forget the gold doorknobs.
Yeah. So I mean, like literally and the sad thing is like people think, well, I have a pool and I put an outdoor barbecue. Well, that's great. And that will make your house sell before the neighbors if it's priced right only because of those added perks. But you're not going to get a whole lot more because of those things. Unfortunately, those are just the bells and whistles that help your house go before the others. And it doesn't.
Well, everybody's attached to their home, and you understand they put blood, sweat, and tears into maintaining and making a beautiful home, and they're doing it to their taste, and they think everybody loves it. But you know, everything's got a value. It's just figuring out what the proper value for most people in a market would be. So
So, is there anything that you wanted to add about your company, or anything else that you wanted to kind of talk about when it comes to the appraisals? I mean, I know we covered a lot, but is there anything that you're kind of wanting to touch base on?
You know, we covered a lot. It's really easy to order. It literally takes about 3 minutes. And when you do schedule, there's $25, and that's the fee that we as a company get. We only take $25 out of this out of the $175.
Oh wow!
And the appraiser is paid at the door, or unless you make arrangements to send them a check or credit card or something, the balance.
Okay.
But that's it. I mean, we try to be as transparent as we could, and we are exactly what we say we are. And the only time we bump any prices up, if the home is over 4,000 square feet,
man, that's
it's another $50. It's another $50, and the appraiser gets that. We're not doing anything extra. The company isn't, so they get that. There's also a rush fee if you want it guaranteed within 48 hours of the inspection. That's another $50, and that also goes to the appraiser. So that's it. You know, we have multifamilies. We do anything. We'll do vacant land. We'll do whatever. So that's about. I mean, we covered a lot there, Lori.
Yeah, we did, and I'm so impressed with the prices, though. Like, that you guys basically your fee stays the same. Okay, so you know what? You're almost just paying completely just for service. It's like going to the auto body shop and just paying for the parts. I mean, literally, that's such a great deal, and I think what you have and the service you're providing is awesome. I think that if people take a look at certain things going on in their lives, that they might find that an appraisal could seriously help in a lot of different situations that happen throughout life, more than just the purchase of a home. I mean, it could solve a lot of issues, I think. I can think of a lot of them offhand. But so how do people get a hold of you? I mean, why don't you tell me, give out your websites in different ways. And if you want to give your number or shout out to anybody else out there, Mother's Day, whatever you want, feel free.
Oh, Mother's Day. Good
Of
call.
Course, and happy Mother's Day,
Rosie
Mom.
Snyder down in Florida. Happy Mother's Day.
Oh, that's sweet. So
You're gonna get a
Rosie
kick out of
Schneider. Awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
And all the ladies in the Packer clan. But happy Mother's Day.
Packer
So,
Clan. Hold
yeah,
on. You had
it's
me.
fun.
Oh, Packer. I thought your
AMUS.
last name, I was thinking Green Bay Packer. I'm like, wait, you're not from Wisconsin.
I know. I should move there, though.
Exactly. I mean,
I would be a
Packer.
hero. I would be a superhero.
You would be. I think every person would use you just because of the name Packer. I mean, they pretty much love all their outfits, everything. It's all Packer over there. Look at my brain instantly went to that. It's from conditioning. I was born that way.
Other than that, yeah, appraisalsave.com. It's pretty simple. We do have an 800 number, 888 number, but just go to the website. That's the easiest way. Everything's right there, spelled out. You can do some research. If you want to call, feel free. 888-336-2150 is the toll-free number.
Okay.
And like I said, we're growing every day. We're adding markets and appraisers, and if you go online and try to order, the site will, and we don't have an appraiser in maybe it's a smaller rural area. Typically, only takes a couple days for us to find somebody to accommodate your order. And that's
great.
about it. So make sure you go through the process, because it'll prompt you. Would you like us to find an appraiser for you? If you stop halfway through, we're never going to know anything. So we
Okay.
can't get you an appraisal.
Wow. Well, this has been such a great conversation. I'm sure everybody feels like they know a little bit more about appraisals, where the costs are, and the different, needs behind getting one or obtaining an appraisal. So I just want to thank you so much for all your great information. I want to wish your little toddler, but backed by tons of experience, company you have going on. I just hope it turns out great, and I think that the service is just excellent. And I really appreciate you being on the show and taking time out of your Saturday night, and I hope the Midwest is doing great over there.
It is it's a little soggy. One more thing, Lori.
Sure.
Two more things, actually. Thank you so much. We
you're
met on
welcome.
LinkedIn, and it's been great talking to you, and I really appreciate you giving us the opportunity to talk on your show.
You're welcome.
And anybody out there listening, go to Facebook and find us and like us. I need Facebook likes.
Yeah, go on. And so
I
what's
need some Facebook likes, because I just go, and even if you don't order, just go and give me a like.
okay.
That's
And is it
it.
under appraisalsave.com for
Appraisal Save? Yeah, appraisalsave.com.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, you guys go out there. Let's do this, because you know what? That's not too much to ask, since they only ask $25 for their services. So, I mean, that's great. And again, everybody, it's appraisalsave.com. And I just want to thank you again, Scott Packer, for being on the Safari Real Estate Show. We really appreciate your time. And if you ever want to call in and check in or update us on anything, feel free to call the show anytime.
I absolutely will. Thanks again, Lori. Have a great weekend, and go Packers.
All right. Happy Mother's Day to all those other Packers. All right. Thank you so much. We're going to go to a commercial, and we'll be right back with the featured property of the week.
SolarEnergyForLife.com.
In case you were wondering what the difference is between SunPower by Alternative Energy Systems and those big box outfits, we've narrowed it down to one really important factor: trust. So we've asked some of our clients to share their personal experience with you.
People ask me all the time, who put the solar on my house? I proudly tell them,
SunPower by AES. They're experts at design, installation,
and they know all the programs and incentives. My consultant worked with me on options like leases, loans,
and purchasing my system. From project management to installation,
AES was thorough, genuine,
and dependable. The team at AES really are solar experts. That's why when people ask, I tell them.
I tell them.
I trust SunPower by Alternative Energy Systems.
SolarEnergyForLife.com.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much again for tuning in to the Safari Real Estate Show. And Chris Singleton, I want to thank you so much for being here tonight, as you are every Saturday.
My pleasure.
Awesome. So I, again, am promoting that land, that's 1700 rolling acreage that has like 2.5 miles of shoreline on Englebright Reservoir up in Browns Valley. It would make a great vineyard for anybody who listened to Mike the Wine Guy's show right before mine. And I just want to let you guys know that it is beautiful. It's broken down into 4 parcels right now. Each one is maybe 500 approximate acres. The total price on this property is $4.8 million, which, if you think about it, there are plenty of homes out there that come close to that, and they don't have all the acreage. It's already cluster zoned, which means you could go in and start putting up houses with 50-acre parcels, throw in a septic here and there, and maybe get some of the money back. They are willing to carry, do owner financing, and you can get a hold of me, 916-960-9600, to find out the terms as far as a carryback on that. And they are willing to carry long-term as well. This property is absolutely gorgeous. The current owner actually, with flies playing in their land at the top, it has oak trees, tons of wildlife. I mean, like bears, mountain lions. I'm not sure how much everybody wants all those kind of animals, but there's turkeys and more docile animals too, like deer. And like I said, 2.5 miles of shoreline, which is awesome. It's one of the only lakes in this area where you can actually build right up to the shoreline, which is an incredible perk, because normally there's setbacks and you have to build your lakefront home not exactly on the front. And so this one's really awesome. There's a lot of fishing. You can actually have motorized vehicles on the lake, which is great. The views are spectacular. It's the very top of the entire mountain. If you get, or hill, it doesn't qualify as a mountain, but hill, overlooking all the mountains in the area. I mean, it's got the most amazing views. When you go up there, there's also a lot of I don't want to label it historical value, but there are like a lot of the Chinese walls and just a lot of different fun things. They did do a lot of the natural habitat type studies and things like that on the property already, and they have a lot of ideas for as far as bringing water in if a person was looking to develop it. There's all kinds of great developing ideas as far as like subdivisions, country properties, maybe some sort of resort. All different things. I mean, you could have like horsebacking, like trails, all different things out there, but it is on the wine trail. So, I mean, I think a great idea for that property would, that, or right now there's also cattle running on the property. You could, a rancher. There's just so many different possibilities that I think you guys should check into it. Like I said, it's 1,700 acres at $4.8 million. And so if you would have any interest on this, you can go to the Safari Real Estate Show .com, and you can find that property listed on there. Otherwise, you can go ahead and give me a call. Again, the number is 916-960-9600, and I'd be happy to answer any questions, send you any links on it or anything like that. Today, I just want to, again, thank Scott Packer from calling in from Michigan. It was really great to have a lot of appraisal information for all of you out there. To me, getting an appraisal, whether you're a professional or if it's for personal reasons, I mean, there are a lot of different issues or things that come up in life where you could literally utilize getting an appraisal. A lot of times people don't want to get an appraiser just because of the cost behind it. We're literally usually looking at $400 to $550 on an appraisal. Maybe you could get one for $350, but typically that's about the price. And so if you want to get an appraisal for $175, just go to appraisalsave.com and look up our guest, Scott Packer. You don't even have to do that to order the appraisal, but still, I want to thank him for that. Every week, I'm going to have a featured property on the Safari Real Estate Show. So if you do decide to list your property with me, I will feature it on this show on my websites, and I do a lot of social media with that. So again, give me a call, 916-960-9600. Stay tuned. The next 2 hours, it's going to be me again, but it's for the dirt. And so we have some great guests coming up on that. So everybody have a nice week, and we will see you next week.
You're listening to KMYC Marysville, 1410 AM, The Patriot, Marysville and Yuba City's #1 talk station.
Fox News Radio, I'm Paul Stevens. One person reportedly killed after at least 2 tornadoes touched down today in North Texas. One twister on the ground late Saturday afternoon near Cisco, about 100 miles west of Fort Worth. At least 1 home damaged there. Another twister touching down to the town of Burke Burnett, Texas, about 15 miles north of Wichita Falls. That's according to a police dispatcher. Meantime, more worries about weather in Oklahoma.
Flooding is a major concern right now. Authorities had their eye on a lake in Shawnee, Oklahoma. That's about 40 miles east of Oklahoma City. They're worried that a dam could breach there. If that does, 25 homes would be in direct danger.
Fox's Will Carr in Bridge Creek, Oklahoma. A transformer fire at New York State's Indian Point nuclear power plant now extinguished. No damage to the reactor. That fire around 6 p.m. Eastern time, triggering the closure of the plant's Unit 3 reactor. The other Unit 2 reactor is still operating. Another conservative get-together this weekend, drawing both declared and possible GOP presidential candidates. Among them, Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker.
We need a commander-in-chief who will once and for all call it what it is, and that is that radical Islamic terrorism is a threat to us all.
Walker among those appearing at the South Carolina Freedom Summit in Greenville, and he is not a declared candidate just yet. More than 36 dangerous prisoners break out of a jail in Iraq.
A massive prison break in Iraq. 40 prisoners, some being held on terrorism charges, escaped after a riot broke out at the Al-Khalis prison about 50 miles north of Baghdad. 12 guards and at least 50 other prisoners were killed when the riot erupted earlier today. The guards tried to intervene, but were overpowered, their weapons taken. At least 14 other guards were badly injured. Security forces have locked down the area and are currently hunting for those escaped prisoners. In Jerusalem, John Huddy, Fox News Radio.
And you're listening to Fox News Radio, fair and balanced.
Can you tell if this burger contains bacteria that could cause kidney failure? Listen. Can't, can you? You can't see it either. There's only one way to tell if you've cooked meat and poultry to a bacteria-killing temperature. Use a food thermometer. It's not an extra step or a nice to have. Raw or undercooked meat may contain bacteria that can make you very sick, or worse. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year, and roughly 3,000 will die. But you can keep your family safer by using a food thermometer every time. Learn more about this and other important information. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov. That's foodsafety.gov. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Agriculture, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
First Lady Michelle Obama delivering today's commencement address at Tuskegee University, an historically black college in Alabama. Her message is one of civic involvement.
If you want to have a say in your community, if you truly want the power to control your own destiny, then you've got to be involved. You've got to be at the table. You've got to vote, 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 vote. That's it. That's the way we move forward. That's how we make progress for ourselves.
Michelle Obama, the second First Lady to ever visit Tuskegee, Eleanor Roosevelt, the first in 1941. Australian authorities saying they thwarted a terror threat allegedly aimed at Melbourne. 3 explosive devices found in the home of a teenager in a Melbourne suburb.
A 17-year-old male from Greenvale was charged in relation to terrorism offences, and we'll allege that the teenager was undertaking preparations to undertake a terrorism act, as well as possessing things that relate to the commission of a terrorism act.
Australian Federal Police Deputy Commissioner Mike Phelan. U.S. military bases, meantime, on high alert.
In the face of mounting threats from ISIS sympathizers on American soil, the Pentagon raised its alert level at all bases in North America. Although not based on any specific threat, the action was taken in the wake of recent events and various threats against the military by ISIS on social media. The heightened alert to Bravo level means stricter inspections of vehicles and IDs, on military posts across the country. The current alert level is at its highest since the 10th anniversary of 9/11. At the White House, John Decker, Fox News Radio.
Renowned country music fiddler Johnny Gimbel has died. His daughter saying Gimbel died this morning near his home near Austin, Texas. He was 89. Gimbel, at one time a member of Bob Wills and the Texas Playboys, later a backup musician for country stars from Merle Haggard to Carrie Underwood. I'm Paul Stevens, Fox News Radio.
Landa & Sons Glass Service now has a new location, 1250 Market Street, Suite B in Yuba City, or phone 673-8812. Landa & Sons Glass Service offers residential and commercial service with a quality that's unmatchable. Windows, mirrors, showers, screens, autos, and even tabletops. If you need any of these services or any other type service to help keep your utility costs down, Landa & Sons Glass Service are licensed contractors. They can help you with ways to lower your cost. Call 673-8812 or stop by 1250 Market Street, Suite B in Yuba City, and on the web, www.landaandsonsglass.com. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., and now Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Remember, it's never too late to keep your costs down. Landa & Sons Glass Service.
You are tuned to the dirt.
The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found.
That's affirmative. He has evidence proving Bigfoot.
The search for the flying saucers.
You're about to explore another world, another universe with the likes of ghosts, Bigfoot, and UFOs.
I woke up in the middle of the night. I don't know